Welcome to Exposure News. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Zaz. Today our top stories are:
tourism in Cardiff is on the rise.
And Exposure News investigates whether the combination of alcohol and social media is a recipe for disaster.
Cardiff was the 12th most visited city in the UK last year. That's according to the Office for National Statistics. Nearly 900,000 people came to the capital. Jack Buckley's been on the tourist trail.
Overseas visits to Wales went up by 3.5%, and overall spending equalled £353 million. The Millennium Stadium constitutes 17% of the overall Welsh tourism GDP, or over £1 billion per year. I'm in the Players' Tunnel of the Millennium Stadium. This is where the players run down on match day, and this is also where you'd get to be if you were on a tour here. This is why the Millennium Stadium is one of the most popular attractions in Wales. So what contribution does Welsh Rugby have for Welsh tourism in general?
Well, we know we have a massive impact on tourism in Wales. We've carried out our independent surveys which have told us and shown us that the stadium itself contributes more than £130 million a year to the wider Welsh economy. That's by the sheer volume of people it attracts to Wales, who of course spend money in Wales, enjoy themselves in Wales and come back to visit Wales.
It does show that Wales is lagging behind England and Scotland still, with the number of visits to London at its highest since 1961.
Now, you may have seen some new furniture in the atrium foyer last night. The interior design students were showcasing their work alongside a highly regarded design company. Martin David has more.
University meets changing rooms today as Vitra and USW students team up for the first time to give a one-off makeover to the atrium foyer. The furniture is from Vitra, a design firm who have been working with the interior design students to help them gain industry experience and to give them the opportunity to showcase their work next to Vitra products.
The opportunity was offered to us and it was a really, really good, something you wouldn't miss. To work with such a famous company and open so many doors for our future careers. I've learned, presenting to clients, I've learned what you're going to be doing. It's very real, very worthwhile, and it has sort of reaffirmed this is what I want to do.
I think it's important for the students to see that there's more outside of the university and to give them every opportunity to get involved with projects as well as experience and employment outside of the university.
A teenager has been sentenced for 9 months and given a restraining order from contacting his girlfriend. Daryl James, who's 19 from Bridgend, assaulted the mother of his 2 children while drunk last September. Owen Shepherd reports.
A Bridgend man was sentenced for 9 months today at Cardiff Crown Court for assaulting the mother of his 2 children. Daryl Lewis from Jersey Road pleaded guilty to headbutting his girlfriend, Carly Austin. Prosecution barrister Jason Herrells described how Lewis arrived drunk at Austin's house at 4:30 a.m, demanding she cook him dinner. Lewis smashed her phone, punched her door, and threatened to crush her skull. His Honour Judge Gaskell called Lewis an obnoxious, drunken father.
A public health professor has warned that alcohol, social media plus peer pressure equals a recipe for disaster. Dr. Mark Bellis's warning comes after the Neck Nominate craze that caused several deaths. Katie Eason reports.
Known for their party lifestyle, and drinking and socialising is common among young people. But Dr. Mark Bellis is concerned about the way alcohol influences the behaviour of young people on social media. How aware are we of what we post online and what effects it might have in the long run?
I should keep that in mind. I probably won't, though, just because it's Facebook and Twitter. It's meant to be a social network.
I have friends that will frape me or whatever, and it can, it's not funny anymore, especially when you get past this age now, because you've got to really take your life quite seriously, especially online.
I'm quite careful myself because I've got my mum, so I don't want her seeing any of that. But then there's some stuff on people's Facebooks. If an employer were to look at, they just say no in an instant. Personally, even myself, I wouldn't employ someone if I saw something like that. So I think stuff like that is just best hidden or not act like it in the first place, really.
It's not always just enough to hide the photos that you're embarrassed of. Making drunk pictures private might actually make matters worse. Julie Kissick gives lectures in social media at the University of South Wales.
When we see so many students, young people, late teens, early 20s, who are literally welded to their phones. And their life is played out on social media. And interestingly, a number of people that I know who are employers, who employ people in the media, they say that if somebody comes to them and their Facebook account, for example, is completely locked down and they can't check it, the first question they ask in an interview is, what have you done that you're so afraid of other people seeing?
And now to Chris Ramsell with the sport.
Thanks, guys. Looking ahead to this weekend's sporting action, the rugby and football seasons both come to a close, and for Cardiff City, it means relegation. Owen Griffith reports.
City will face third-place Chelsea on Sunday in their final Premier League game of the season. The Bluebirds were relegated last weekend after the 3-0 loss against Newcastle at St James's Park. The Scarlets and Cardiff Blues will face off in their final Rabo Direct Pro 12 game of the season. It will be the last appearances for the likes of Jonathan Davis and Robin Copeland ahead of their summer transfers. The Blues will be seeking their 5th win in a row for the first time since 2010. The Wales 7 side has been handed a tough group for the final leg of the IRB World Series at Twickenham, where they won the bowl last year. Wales, who are currently placed 11th in the overall standings, will face Argentina, series leaders New Zealand and hosts England. They will look to build upon last week's Shield victory at Glasgow, with 2 changes to the squad, as Adam Field and Geraint Walsh replace Gareth Owen and Iolo Evans.
The Wales women's football team defeated Montenegro 4-0 last night in a World Cup qualifier. Seville Wilshire has opened the scoring for Wales before captain Jess Fishlock scored a hat-trick. The win leaves them 5 points behind leaders England with a game in hand. In the World Cup qualifying Group 6, Wales' next qualifier is a home fixture against Turkey on the 14th of June in Haverfordwest. England will be playing a one-day cricket international against India in Cardiff this summer. But why aren't Wales fielding their own national team? Matthew Davis has more.
Renowned for its patriotism and passion when supporting the national teams in football and rugby. However, this proud nation has been deprived of having the same opportunity with cricket.
People want to go to a game and feel that they can wear the colour of their country on their backs, in terms of the shirts, the scarves that they wear, and I think that's something that people are missing out with regards to cricket in Wales.
It is argued that Glamorgan, who have been playing in the English County Championship for almost 100 years, may lose their place in the English League system, and with that, vital funding.
But if we went out on our own, it would cause kind of issues for Glamorgan being part of the county cricket structure, and obviously it would present issues for England playing international cricket at the Swellet Stadium.
That is very good. Quite brilliant from Simon Jones.
Only 16 Welshmen have represented England, and the last was Simon Jones, back in 2005. But no player from the Principality has been able to break into the team since.
How are we supposed to inspire people to take up cricket in the future? At the end of the day, young people playing rugby and football, as we know, do so because they can see the Gareth Bales of this world, the Sam Warburtons, and they can see how successful they are. And the fact that it's been since 2005 and we haven't had somebody in the English team is just really, really worrying, I think.
Welsh cricketers won't wear the 3 feathers of Wales, but will have to settle for the daffodil of Glamorgan. Matthew Davis, Exposure News.
The pitch at the Millennium Stadium is due to be relayed for next season with a combination of artificial and real turf. Head of PR at the WRU, John Williams, spoke exclusively to Exposure News and says the new pitch surface will be more durable for multiple sporting events at the stadium.
What we want to do here in the Millennium Stadium is ensure we've got the best possible quality pitch for international soccer, international rugby and other sporting events that we come across. So we're going to this new system which will give a far stronger surface for us, because as you can imagine, rugby specifically takes a lot out of a pitch, with the activity of scrummages and lineouts and rucks and mauls. So it does have to be a very robust product.
Now back to you guys.
Thanks, Chris. And now to Matthew Davis with the weather.
Tonight, strong winds and rain will spread northeastwards through the night. The rain will be heavy at times before drier weather starts to push into southwest by dawn.
And that's all from us. Thank you for watching Exposure News. Hope you have a good evening. Thank you very much.
Goodbye.